Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to All Things Division 3 Soccer with Simple Coach and Jackie. I am Simple Coach. Jackie is sleeping today. She's got her t-shirt on, a little chill in the air. I don't think she was feeling well yesterday. So as always, it's Monday the 23rd, so I thought I would do a quick video on the game or games, certainly games, of the week. So this applies for today the 23rd through Thursday the 26th, and then I do another one obviously for the weekend games. Lots of teams are wrapping it up. Lots of teams are wrapping up their regular season games. Could be conference games. I know a number of them this week, during the week, is their last game of the season, and then so waiting to shake out what's in the tournament. So there are some interesting games, some that are just interesting because they are, and others because there's some ramifications for it. So so why don't we get to it? And as always, we'll start with the ladies. Monday, there's only one game that sort of piqued my interest. Not for anything, but because I'm interested to find out. Bob Jones at 8-1-5 is playing Piedmont, who is 9-6-4. Bob Jones is looking to become a full member of Division 3, but I don't understand the issues of it. Wasn't able to align with a conference, and as a result is sort of sitting it out, but playing. I don't know. I'm not sure they're eligible for the NCAAs. I don't know. But anyhow, just thought that looked interesting on the women's side. On Tuesday, there's a bunch of games that are really interesting. The first, Calvin at Albion. Calvin 13-0-2 versus 4-1-10 Albion. Is this a Williams scenario? I don't know. But could be a tight game. Looks like a trap game for Calvin, if I may say so myself. Also on Tuesday, Clarkson 9-4-2 at St. Lawrence at 7-4-4. Liberty League tilt. So Clarkson stands at 3-4, and they're in 6th place in the conference. St. Lawrence is 3-2-2, and they're in 4th place, and they 6 teams qualify. So I would think Clarkson would love a result just to solidify that 6th spot. Also in the Liberty League, Rochester Institute of Technology 7-4-3 at Ithaca, going up the hill at 9-2-2. It's a battle of 2nd place RIT versus 3rd place Ithaca. Okay. Yes. Okay, sorry, I got confused. Also Tuesday, Luther in an American Rivers Conference. Luther, 5th place in the American Rivers Conference, plays at Dubuque. Luther is 6-6-4, and Dubuque is 10-4-1. Dubuque 3rd, Luther 5th. 6 teams qualify. Western New England 9-3-2. Western New England 9-3-2 plays Hartford, who is 12-2, which is they're not participating in the conference. They are 8-0 in the conference as it stands, but they're not participating. So Western New England is first in the conference, based on that. So, they're 6-1 in the conference. So theoretically, if Hartford were participating, they would be number 1. Number 2 would be Western New England. So it looks like a good matchup. Lots of questions in my mind with Hartford. Are they that good? Right. Formerly Division One last year, now they're Division Three. So I don't know, but hopefully we'll find out. Manhattanville 7-5-3 is at Old Westbury, the Old Westburians at 7-2. I would expect Manhattanville to take care of business. Big games to watch. 9-4-3 Catholic travels to 7-6-1 Mary Washington. It's a non-conference game, so Connecticut College 9-5 travels to Wesleyan, who is at 7-3-4. Wesleyan is fifth in the NESCAC, and Connecticut is eighth. I think this is an 8-team conference tournament. No, a 16 conference tournament. Sorry. The real matchup that's really interesting to me is 7-4-3 Trinity, who is fourth in the conference, faces the 12-1-1 Amherst Mammoths, who sits first in the NESCAC. And I will say that, like, if you haven't watched Amherst, there's a couple really special players. They're leading goal scorers. Patience Cume, 12 goals, 5 assists, and then Abby Schwartz, 7 goals, 6 assists. But there's one player that I think you might want to keep an eye on for future years, a freshman, Precious Novidzro. I could have just totally butchered that name, but she's a freshman, 4 goals, 3 assists. I would say keep an eye. All right, so that's it for Tuesday. Wednesday got some interesting mashups. Centennial Conference batting down the hatches. 12-1-2 Johns Hopkins faces 8-2-5 McDaniel. Johns Hopkins leads the Centennial. McDaniel is fifth. Ohio Athletic Conference matchup, 6-8-1. Ohio Northern, who's third in the conference, faces Baldwin Wallace. At Baldwin Wallace, 8-7-1, and they are fifth in the conference. You have Union, another Liberty League, 6-7-2. Faces Skidmore, 5-4-5. I think Skidmore is pretty much out of the conference tournament mathematically. Union might still have a chance. Not sure. But they both sit 8th and 9th respectively. Not respectfully. You have DePaul travels 4th in the NCAC at 9-3-4, travels to first place Ohio Wesleyan, who sits 9-5-2, and then an NJAC tilt. Clubs, knives, brass knuckles. College of New Jersey 12-2-1, who sits first in the NJAC, faces fifth place Rutgers Camden, who's at 8-7-1, and they are at Rutgers Camden. NJAC is a 6-team conference tournament, so I would think Rutgers wouldn't mind just getting a result, even if it's a tie, just sort of improves their position. So, another Wednesday match, Milwaukee School of Engineering, MSOE, 15-1-3. How remarkable is that? Travels to Wisconsin Lutheran, 7-8-1. MSOE is second in the conference. Wisconsin Lutheran 11th. Games really to watch. I mentioned the Johns Hopkins McDaniel game. RPI faces Vassar. RPI is 7th in the Liberty League at 7-4-3. Vassar is 5th at 8-3-3. So that could be quite the matchup. Washington in a President's Athletic Conference. Washington and Jefferson 10-2-4 faces Grove City 11-4-1. This is a battle of third place Washington and Jefferson against first place Grove City. Then another one interesting in the ODAC. Averett 7-8-2 travels to Roanoke 8-4-4. Roanoke sits fourth in the table, and Everett sits eighth. I know they're funky because they don't play they don't play each other. Everyone. Because they have a 12-team or 14-team conference. So it's just interesting how the tournament's going to work out. So that's for Wednesdays. And then on Thursday, Hardin-Simmons, 12-1-2. Travels to UT Dallas at 9-0-6. UT Dallas Comets are third. Could be a bit of a grudge match. I think they're both tournament eligible or qualified. Hey, girl. And Hardin-Simmons is second, while UT Dallas is third in their conference. So it should be pretty interesting. Okay. So let's go on to the men. So today, Monday, you got one match that I'll be watching. Pratt Institute at 1-9-1 faces St. Lawrence at 3-10-1. Seeing how that game evolves and see where those two stand soccer-wise. That's the only game on Monday for the men. On Tuesday, some interesting matchups. Middlebury, 10-0-4, travels to Williams at 8-4-2. Can Middlebury follow up on that pretty outstanding defeat of Tufts on Saturday? For its part, Tufts travels to Bowdoin. Tufts 9-2-3 after that tough loss against Middlebury. Bowdoin is 9-1-4. This is a battle of fourth in the NESCAC, Tufts versus fifth. And then an interesting matchup. Connecticut College, 10-0-4, travels to Wesleyan, 5-5-3. Connecticut College is second in the NESCAC, and Wesleyan is eighth. So it should be a good matchup. Also on Tuesday, Bridgewater, Massachusetts, 8-2-4, travels to Rhode Island College, 7-3-4. That I visited, but I did not do a Fields of Dreams. It's kind of a bummer. I should have done it, but anyhow. So that's Tuesday. Tuesday, here's a couple of the matches. There's 4 matches that are really, really good, I think. Watch at your own peril. Gustavus Adolphus, 6-6, not the greatest of years for them, perhaps. Faces a 12-3-1 St. Olaf at 12-3-1. I think I mentioned that. In the conference, number 1 St. Olaf. It's against number, I think that says 5th. They're 5th. Gustavus is 5th. Buffalo State in a non-conference tilt, I think, 10-3-3, faces Hobart, 8-5-2. Lebanon Valley faces Arcadia. Lebanon Valley, 11-1-3. They're first in the MAC Freedom. Faces Arcadia, who is 5th in the MAC Freedom. They're at 3-7-6. I'm gonna call. I think this could be a trap match for Lebanon Valley. They're riding pretty high, sitting on top of the conference. Yeah. And then finally on Tuesday, a very, very interesting match simply because of location. Although it does have NCAC implications. Worcester plays Denison. College of Worcester, Coach Zidron's men, 5-7-3, play Denison. Coach Bianco's men sits on 9-3-3. Denison is 3rd in the NCAC. Worcester is 5th. And so they're in not a bad, both of them are in good spots for the conference tournament. What makes this interesting is that this game will be played at the historic Columbus Crew Stadium, which guess means the old one on the fairgrounds, if I recall, which I have been to. It was a remarkable place when it was built, and I'm sure is nostalgic and all that stuff. So really cool that they're getting to play there. All right, so that's for Tuesday. For Wednesday, bunch of really good games. Liberty League matchup. RPI sits fourth, 7-5-2, receives Vassar, who sits seventh at 7-4-4 in the Liberty League. So I think this one game can switch the two in terms of position, in terms of standings. So I know Vassar is sitting on the outside right now, but has been playing well. So we'll see about that. No OEC tilt. Otterbein, number one Otterbein, takes on Marietta at Otterbein. Otterbein 10-2-3. Marietta at 6-9-1. Otterbein is fifth in the OAC. Marietta is fifth. Otterbein first. Marietta fifth. Oof, I'm just totally butchering it today. Monday morning, sorry. This would be a game if Marietta could sneak out a draw. They're tournament bound. So another OAC tilt. BW Baldwin Wallace 7-8-2 travels to 9-5-2 Ohio Northern. Baldwin Wallace is sixth in the OAC. Ohio Northern is third. This is a game that Ohio Northern has to polish up if it wants some chance to make the tournament without having to win the conference, I think. Another game on Wednesday, Bethany travel 4-9-3 is the President's Athletic Conference, travels to Westminster 4-8-4. Bethany needs this. Bethany needs this win if they want. I don't know if they're mathematically out of their conference tournament, but they might jump a few spots depending on other results. But the games to watch on Wednesday. 14-2-1 Montclair, and it faces 10-0-6 surprise Kane University. Montclair is number one in the NESCAC. Kane is number 5. And Kane has done a number on a number of teams. So I would keep an eye on this. I just don't know if they can handle if Montclair is on and they just have the firepower that they're just going to do damage to Kane. ODAC number 3 Lynchburg 12-2-2 travels to Washington and Lee, 9-3-4, sits atop the ODAC. An OAC matchup here, really, really interesting, really good. 11-4-1, John Carroll travels to Alliance, Ohio, the Carnation City, to face 14-1-1 Mount Union. I will say this. In the OAC, Mount Union is number 2. John Carroll's number 4. John Carroll has had 2 tough results the last 2 games. You'll see my standings coming out. They're on the bubble now as to whether they should be in the top 25. Mount Union, if it takes care of business, positions itself very well for the conference tournament, but also I think deserves to be considered in the top 25 again, in the simple coach top 25 again. This is a huge, huge matchup for both. I'll be tuned into that one. Out west, the SCAC This is going to be a killer game. Redlands at 11-1-2 face Occidental at 9-3-3. This is a battle of number 1 Redlands versus number 2 Occidental. This would be quite the matchup. And then finally, the one that's just because I think this is a game. This is a game I think that's has importance for both teams. So, Catholic University at 9-5-2 travels to 12-1-2 Mary Washington. It is a non-conference. Catholic needs this. I think if Catholic drops this, they have not beaten a top 25 team. And so their only avenue as far they would be 9-6-2. I think their only avenue to make the tournament would be winning the landmark, the pay-per-view conference, as their only avenue, which I think is very possible. Like I think the 3 teams that I sort of consider really present there are Catholic, Scranton, and Lycoming. And then I think you throw on the outside Drew, maybe E-Town. I don't know. So that's going to be, and I think Mary Washington doesn't need this game, but needs this game. I think they want to go into the NCAAs in the strongest position possible to make another run, because I think they are that good, and they could be thinking national title, but they have to take care of games like this. So, really interesting. So that was for Wednesday. And then Thursday, I just have one. 1-8-5 East Texas Baptist travels to future Division II school next year, Sol Ross, at 1-8-5. So I'm really interested in the Texas games, as to understanding the Texas teams quite a bit. So I think there's some really great soccer that gets played there, much more technical than a lot of the East Coast games. Maybe a little bit slower here and there, but from a technical standpoint and from a tactical standpoint, I think there's more to it than a lot of teams I watch. So, but I'm just going to be watching that game. Sol Ross going to Division II next year. So I ask, should I get a Sol Ross hat before they go to Division II? Right, I have a Hartford hat that I got before they went to Division III. My question is, do they get a hat because they were Division III and are going to Division II? I don't know. I'm torn. Philosophical debate. So, if you're looking to watch games on the ladies' side on Tuesday, let me do a quick overview. Tuesday, William Smith at Cortland, Catholic at Mary Washington for the ladies, Connecticut College at Wesleyan, Trinity at Amherst. That's Tuesday. On Wednesday, Johns Hopkins at McDaniel. Wow. RPI at Vassar. Wow. And Washington at Jefferson at Grove City. And Everett at Roanoke. That's for Wednesday. And then Thursday, Hardin-Simmons at UT Dallas. And then for the men, on Monday, today, to watch a game, Pratt Institute at Sarah Lawrence. On Tuesday, Gustavus at St. Olaf. Banger. Buffalo State at Hobart. Lebanon Valley at Arcadia. And then Worcester at Denison. For Wednesday, the games to watch, Catholic at Mary Washington. Remember, it's not behind paywall because it's at Mary Washington. Redlands at Occidental. John Carroll at Mount Union. Lynchburg at Washington and Lee. And Kane at Montclair State. So there you go. those are my games of the midweek. Like I said, a lot of teams wrapping it up. Some teams still pondering opportunities to go to their conference tournaments. Good amount of teams are wrapping up their seasons. Yeah, so that's it. So I got a bunch of other stuff coming out. This week, I'm going to have the top 20, as a Simple Coach top 25s. I'll have the games of the weekend coming up on Friday. Going to try to do, I have another Fields of Dreams out there that is in the editing mode, so I'll try to get that out. I would also add just a shout out to my supporters on Patreon. Really do appreciate you all. Thank you. Some interesting stuff, like I keep saying, alluding to, going on. And yeah, and I think that's it. So hope you have a great day. On behalf of me, Simple Coach, and Jackie, who is snoozing away, I hope you have a wonderful, blessed weekend, or week, excuse me. And if you're working like me, you work, and it goes well. All right, catch ya.